Joining us right now, live in the Splash, is our Fire Chief, Greg Flynn. Chief Flynn, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the Splash Live. Good to see you. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Well, you presented before the West Bloomfield Township Board a study last night that was put together by Redstone Architects. This is for the renovation of Fire Station number 1, which is the fire station right down the street from West Bloomfield High School. You've got very modern facilities across the township, maybe with the exception of this fire station that was built back in 1971. Can you share with us, talk a little bit about the project that you introduced to the board last night?
Well, I have, first of all, very fond memories of Fire Station 1. It's where I was first stationed when I started here 25 years ago. And really, it's been a kind of that central station, conveniently located in the center of the township and with easy access north and south on Orchard Lake Road. It really is in a perfect position strategically within the township. But last night, we had the opportunity to go over Redstone's, study results, which really concluded the main idea that it's functionally obsolete, Dave, and that's the reality of where we are in 2023. The workforce is changing. The services provided by the township circa 1971 and then here in 2023 are different. And this is just part of local government is updating facilities. And I'm very encouraged by the support from the board last night to move forward with the next step that this is going to be one more step in maintaining that high level of service that our citizens have come accustomed to.
Well, that's a building that I've spent a lot of time in, and a lot of people in the community have had an opportunity to be in that building because we do our open house there every year. And, a lot has changed since 1971. I was reading some of the information. That building was built to a much lower standard, the kind that would be used for an office building, for example, not a fire station where you're in the middle of all kinds of emergency services. So it's that kind of thing. And then the other thing, I imagine, going back to 1971, were there any women firefighters in 1971 when that building was built?
Not to my knowledge, and you bring that point up, and just recently the number of women that we've hired is very reflective of the interest that all people are having in joining the fire service, and we definitely want to be a space that's welcoming to that, and to do that, our facilities need to be reflective of that commitment. And I know that's been something that the township board has been focused on, and this is just an opportunity to really reinforce those beliefs and make them a reality within the community and be reflective of those beliefs.
Well, whether there are any women working then, that building is not designed for the kind of workforce that you would have today. So we do have this one picture. It was a rendering that you had. Is this representative of some of the exterior things that you want to do, or are we just not that far along in the project yet?
Well, it would be a little premature to say this is what it would be, and I want to be careful of that because that would be putting the cart before the horse. But I think it's important to have a shared vision moving forward. So let's just, while you have that image up, let me pick a couple things apart on that. First of all is to modernize the exterior of the building. If you notice on the image that you have in front of you, that's a metal peaked roof, whereas when you go by Station 1 today, it's very much that commercial big box store look with the flat roof, a membrane roof, which we've had significant issues with over the years with leaks, and you just have that with flat roofs. So the idea would be to pitch that roof and make that a little nicer, and you'll notice that the colors and the materials on the exterior of the building are much more reflective of that Orchard Lake corridor. You've seen many of the strip malls and commercial buildings along there do upgrades, and the township board's been very supportive of that. And so it seems only logical that the township itself would be positioning themselves to be reflective of those same values and strategic planning along Orchard Lake Road.
Well, and that's really most people, they're not going to ever be in your fire station. They're going to drive by and see it. But I know the nuts and bolts of what you need really happens inside the building, the infrastructure, the updates. You know, people don't know this, Greg Flynn, Fire Chief West Bloomfield, but you run an amazing, very technologically advanced department. And we have a fiber network. You have all kinds of digital communications that you use, I'm sure, for emergency services and also for training. And they're integrated into your facilities, but it isn't really easy to do that, as we're finding out over in the school. You've got to create, on the school side, you've got to create the proper spaces too for people to work in a society that's totally different than it was in 1971.
We have a really unique opportunity here with a township board that was supportive and instrumental in the construction of Fire Station 3. You have a township board that's working through and being very supportive of our law enforcement side, our police department, with the renovation of their building. And that will become a state-of-the-art dispatch center and police facility. And so it just seems very appropriate in that project will be completed well before anything would start at Station.
Okay, well, it looks like we've temporarily lost Greg's connection. So we'll see if we can get that back. Let's take a quick break if we
Start
would.
at Station 1.
Oh, we've got it back?
To the
Okay,
total
good.
position, future boards to be in a good place.
All right, Greg, we lost you there for just a second,
Okay.
but
Okay.
thank you. No, it's fine. Thank you very much for being with us. One final question: do you still see Station Number 5 being the headquarters for the fire department, or would it possibly move back over to Station Number 1, which at one point in the earlier days was your main fire station?
And the intent would be to keep headquarters right where it is. This facility is designed for that, and the design features that we would put into Fire Station 1's remodel would be very much reflective of operations and making sure some of those training components and the other things that you were mentioning, the technology gets incorporated into that footprint.
All right, well, good luck with the project. Keep us up to date if you would. Before we go, just if I can have one more minute of your time, Facebook story today. A couple of days ago at 7 o'clock, a resident heard a loud bang and found smoke coming into their attic here in West Bloomfield. They exited, called 911. You guys responded. You want to tell us a little bit about that story that ended up well?
Yeah, so crews were able to make a quick entry and suppress the situation and bring it under control. The notable part of that was, unfortunately, some of the smoke alarms that were within the home were not functioning. And so fire is everyone's fight. And part of that defense is to have working smoke alarms. And so I just would take this opportunity to remind people, if they have batteries that go in there, to replace those batteries and to test the smoke alarm, and that most of them are designed for about 10 years, Dave. And many of them come with that 10-year lithium ion battery now, and we just replace the whole unit. If anyone out there is really struggling with that, or isn't, has the means to update their smoke alarm, we'd encourage them to reach out to us, and we definitely like to try to make sure that those resources are made available to them.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Thanks for the update. We'll keep in touch on Fire Station Number 1. And I checked my smoke detector last night when I saw that story. It's the spring forward, fall back thing. You're supposed to do it then. And honestly, I missed it. So I got my batteries up to date. I hope everyone watching takes an opportunity from this story to make sure your home is prepared and safe. Greg, thank you very much.